Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Falcon Horus. And I just saw my last video. I gave you guys a part two of the most torturous game, Flappy Wings Rage of Flying Part Two. So yep, as you saw in my last video, I played it a bit. It wasn't a long video just because it was so difficult. But if you guys want part three, I'll be happy to do it. Just leave the comments below, or give a like on that video, and let me know. And don't forget to share. I decided to do sort of like a blog or something of my most raging games, or my top 10 raging games of all time, or something like that. So yeah, I just want to let you guys know, and don't forget to let me know if I let me know which are your kind of most top 10 or rageous games of all time. Just write down in the comments below and put them as in ranked, or just let me know if you guys disagree or something like that. And just, yeah. So here is my top 10 most rating games of them all time. Might not go to top 10, but let's see what goes. For number 10, I would have to say, believe it or not, you're going to be shocked by this, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive. The reason for this is it has many reasons. Even though it's one of our everyone's most favorite video game childhood memories, it is the levels sometimes can be very difficult, including playing as Sonic. Now, as you know, probably like saying, "Oh, okay, playing as Sonic," like I always play Sonic, he's the main character and stuff. Oh, okay, okay, yes, I understand that, but if you know, but some levels can be very difficult, and there can be some glitches to be involved, and plus there's most of the other thing is the checkpoints you get, which if you jump into the star and they do the little doo doo like that. Um, if you notice, if you manage to complete the race, you get an emerald diamond thing, whatever it is, which can turn you to supersonic. However, if every time you do this and every rings you get, you don't the game you basically after you go back to reality world, you basically lose all your rings and have to start getting the rings all over again, which could be very, very frustrating, even though you put so much hard work in trying to get that bloody diamond thing. So, and that is, and also sometimes when you're running, it makes you look like Sonic's on wearing ice skates. When you don't want him to run, he sometimes just stops, frankly, but not stops treaches to hold that much. So even like on hiatus, it can be very difficult. Plus, the other thing is and one of the most raging thing about that game is basically for the iPad edition Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Um, if you ever think you if you go with Tails, like you're basically thinking Tails should basically just stop jumping and stop copying what I'm every trying to do. It's like jumping around, just really bouncing on enemies and helping them. Well, basically just watching me and just chasing up to me and stuff like cat and mouse. So basically, he doesn't do anything. You think about if he can fly, he basically can. You think he could basically take you anywhere for a minimum amount of time. Unfortunately, on this original one, on the original one, he doesn't. He basically just follows you, really helps you out, and gets quite annoying. For the iPad Edition one, they actually added some new features. They added HD remastered levels, HD remastered racing, and also they added in the most kind of obvious kind of thing you would want to have in the original, and you would think, and you would also thought if you didn't play the original and you didn't even try this, you would basically be just yelling out and just saying, why? What I'm trying to get to is in the iPad edition is if you jump up and tap rapidly up and then hold aim, and then you notice that Tails grabs you and he can fly you for a certain amount of time. Unfortunately, not for a long time after he gets really tired out, probably eating from too much hamburgers or McDonald's or something like that. Unfortunately for this, so for this is you're thinking, why? Why couldn't they do this in the original game? I know it's very frustrating, and you must be probably very frustrated too. When I first discovered it, you would not believe the most raging thing I would have ever thought of. I was literally pissed off. So Sega Corporations, please, why can you just make this? Why can you come up with this idea in the original version? Why? So yeah, anyways, that's Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for Mega Drive and Sega Genesis. It's for number 10th. Now for number 9. Number 9 would have to be Sonic the Hedgehog 1. As always, as similar to Sonic the Hedgehog 2, basically in this one is it becomes more kind of frustrating. In Sonic the Hedgehog 1, you notice that you cannot. There's no dashing involved. The basic weapon that you have is basically jump. Jumping is basically can come in handy sometimes, but rarely you try to want to do the dash. You're so tempted to do the dashing button, even though it doesn't work. Rather than you have to go all the way back to this path and then making a run for it, and then making a run for it, and making so that you can gain more speed. However, that can be very frustrating and very kind of tiring. The other thing is basically the iPad version. Sega Corporations decided to add the dashing in that one. Again, why Sega Corporations? Why could you not add that feature in the original edition? That could give us so much more help and save us less time of dying instead of the other difficult levels and stuff. So yeah, that's for Sonic Hedgehog 1 on the 9th list. Number 8, I would probably have to say Duke Nukem Forever, the new edition one. Reason why is it was a terrible comeback for Duke Nukem and Sally, which is Duke Nukem was one of my favorite games. Unfortunately, the remake, the return of the Duke Nukem was an utter disaster. Now I know this may not sound raging, but the game was bad. Plus, the most raging thing about it was the aiming. The aiming is absolutely terrible in the game. It's not like Call of Duty where you basically get to hold the first-person shooter gun like that. You basically just get to do this one, and it gets very irritating, especially with sniper guns too. Of course, the enemies can be very dangerous, can be very kind of annoying, even though you shot them a couple of times and they won't die, and basically you run out of bullets, and then you basically are buggered. So that's Duke Nukem Forever for you on number 8. Number 7. This number 7 would probably have to be. Oh wait, I'm not prepared off this one. We have to think. Would have to be. Probably have to be the Terminator, the Terminator movie for Sega Genesis and Sega Genesis. Reason for this is I played this a long time ago when I was a kid. The music is amazing in it. The graphics are well, they're 18 bits and stuff, so you got to give respect to them. Like they couldn't add HD. There wasn't HD and stuff or that stuff back in those years. So the graphics were awesome back in those days. However, the bit which is raging about it is that the game is utterly hard. Plus, even if you only have one life left. You only have one life. If you die, you basically have to start the whole bloody game all over again, which can be very frustrating. I was thinking, why couldn't they just give you like a couple of lives? I mean, just rather than giving you just like, even though at least they give you like, they just give you medicine just to heal up. Why can't they give you a bloody kind of like, life point? But apparently they just said, no, it's an ultimate survival. I would probably call it a survival game because you basically have to survive till the very end. So that's the Terminator movie for Sega Genesis. Number 7. Number 6, I would probably have to say, Flappy Wings, the ones that you guys just saw me play a couple of minutes ago. Reason for this is I have so many reasons. One, it's like a rip-off of Flappy Birds. Two, the game is very, very sensitive. This is, as you saw as I was jumping, you would realize on what and how I was hitting the pipes so many times. Well, the thing is, I was not. I was not even trying to hit the pipes. The thing is, the game wants you to hit the pipes. If I look at it my kind of way, because of the damn sensitivity. Now for this this can drive any kind of video gamer who has an anger problem pretty angry. Unfortunately, I do not have one of those anger problems, and I'm fortunate to not have that. So basically that's for Flappy Wings. I'm not quite sure if it was like public game, but anyways, yeah, that's for my opinion. Number four, I think, was it number four or number five? Well, I don't care. Number five, I would have to say, oh, probably have to say, number five would have to be, ooh, possibly Flappy Wings. No, Flappy Wings, sorry, probably need to do this. It'd probably have to be Flappy Bird. Yes, yes, yeah, yes. I know. Probably one. You probably think that this must be like on second, like one of the second rank spot on one of the most raging games. Well, I would think yeah, it is probably one of the most raging games of all time. The reason for this is as Flappy Wings, for sometimes it can get very sensitive. Plus, the game for me kind of thing, for me you would actually ever think I'm sitting back while playing this game, when is this bloody game going to end? The level is basically going for hours and hours, probably until next year or something like that, and it gets more difficult and difficult. The reason is for this, I just figure out that it's even though it's a really fun game for raging people and like just something like really fun, it's probably one of my other worst like raging games of all time. So I'm actually going to skip a couple of numbers because I can't think of anything else on what other numbers can be ranked. But I'm going to put for number one, number one on my list. Number one on my list, drum roll please. So that was a crappy drum roll. But anyways, number one on my list is the one and the only Dark Souls 1. Yes, I think you guys probably agree with this. Dark Souls 1. Yes. You guys have played it so many times, and yes, and you looked in the color box and would be saying prepare to die. Well, I figured out. I was wondering why I would say that, and I figured out. Yes, Dark Souls 1 is probably the most rageous games of all time, or probably all history, for now, unless there's another game which is something like that. But anyways, yes, that is one of the most raging games of all time. Reason for this is because it is incredibly hard, and you basically don't get to the armor that you wear or any kind of armor you wear. You move incredibly slow, and the dodging is just basically crappy. And also, you are very very likely to get killed every single time and have to start all the way from the beginning. Plus, the worst thing is about it, once you lit the bonfire and once you die in the video game and once you rest in the bonfire just to get your strength back, your enemies will be revived and you have to start, which means basically you have to start finding all your enemies, even the hard enemies, even the bosses, all over again. Not to mention, not to mention the weight carrying, which I don't know why they would add that. So basically, if you find a weapon, then you said, "Oh, you can't use it; you have to get more stronger." Like, that's insane. Like, how can you get like how many times? Like, what level do you have to get to be really strong? Like, it's gonna take days or months to get to that level. Why can you just pick up a weapon and then use it? It's fair and simple. I know it looks realistic from your character, or the weight, or of your character, or something like that. But come on, like that's it's just fantasy game. It's not like a real one. So yeah. So anyways, I think I'm out of time for this one. So that's all my raging games of my kind of, my opinion, my raging games of all time. Let me know if you guys agree with me or not, and just and put some comments down below and tell me if your most raging top 10 raging games of all time. Anyways, thank you very much for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to leave a like and don't forget to share. It would really help me a lot and mean a lot to me. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. This is Falcon Horse signing out. See you next time.